Please be advised that Little Miss Recap contains adult language. Hey guys, it's Amy. I just wanted to jump in before you listen to our episode of Prison Brides and talk about a few things that we have coming up. So today is February 2nd. It's a great time to check out all of our content on our paid feed, which is Little Miss Recap Extra. So you can join that by going to Patreon, Supercast, or Apple subscriptions. And on those tiers, you get the Single Life, 90-Day Fiancé, The Single Life. You get Sister Wives, all of season 18, plus the rewatch that we're doing. We also have a fun crossover with Ace and Caitlin from Sister Wives, Love Should Be Multiplied, Not Divided, where we talked about the murder of John Benet Ramsey, and we pretty much solved it. And we also have a Gen X corner where you get one documentary or Gen X focused piece of content every month. I also want to just let you know on the free feed coming up on Monday of next week will be a crossover with the Sister Wives Professor. And that's a great podcast that Dr. Adam runs, where he looks at Sister Wives episodes through the lens of an academic who studies body language and interpersonal communications. And also, I hope you enjoyed our documentary of American Nightmare that I did with Tess and Brooke from Psych Legal Pop. Had a lot of fun with them. That's about it. The merch store's open, so feel free to jump in there and grab some merch. The link is in the show notes. One more thing. If you've joined Patreon, make sure you're not at the free tier. If you are a free member, you don't get any additional content. So if you want the additional content that I mentioned, then you have to jump up to the $5 tier, $8 tier, or $12 tier. It's a new feature that Patreon is doing where they're offering free memberships, but you don't get anything. I'm really sorry. That's it. That's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And as always, thank you so much for your support. Hey guys, welcome to Little Miss Recap.
Podcast where we wear denim underwear while hanging birthday decorations.
Oh, did she have denim underwear on?
Well, she had really short denim shorts on, and her hiney was hanging out. I even took a picture of it.
Oh.
I'm gonna send it to you right now, so that when we get to the scene, you'll know.
Okay, I'll know it.
Send it to you right
Guys,
now.
my name's Amy. I'm here with the noodle to my spaghetti sauce, Steph. Let's go into Prison Brides. Prison Brides, Season 1, Episode 4. It's Second Degree Engagement. Do you want to sing that?
Honey hanging out, hanging up the decorations, honey hanging out.
Do you want to sing Second Degree Engagement? I think that has a nice ring to it.
Second degree engagement.
It's an engagement in the second degree.
In second degree. Okay, my God. Everybody just shut us off.
So we're going to start with our good old faves, Joseph and Svea.
You mean Svea and Hottie McCrimes. Get it right, Amy.
Hottie McCrimes is hot.
McCrimes is so hot. He needs to do the rest of the show shirtless. I don't want to see clothes on this body ever again.
I just feel like I'm rooting for him.
Me too. And I have a real problem with DeMarcus putting him in the basement. Why is he not?
We saw the rest of your house. It's nice.
That's my point.
Let him sleep on the couch.
Let him sleep on the couch. Exactly.
So they're getting ready to move into the murder basement. And Svea's like, I'm not a basement person. Like, I need air. I need light. Now, I will say I lived in a basement.
I know.
And it was a basement. Like, in the ground basement with the tiny little windows up at the top. And I want to say I lived there for
a couple years, right?
Yeah, probably about a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years. Darkest period of my life, no pun intended.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
I think it fucks with you in some way.
It has to.
And it wasn't a walkout basement. Like, we did not have any sunshine.
I know.
It was weird.
I remember.
It was weird.
I remember.
Yeah.
I'm a weirdo that I need light. Like, the brighter, the better, except for when I'm sleeping. But I don't know. Okay, so when I was working, before I started working from home, I had a really beautiful big office that I loved, but it
I
was
worked
in
in
the
that same building, and there are
it
no
was
windows.
yeah, it was in the
Mhm.
middle. My office
Yep.
was dead center in the
Yep.
middle of the building, and I had no windows.
Yep.
So while I had lamps and overhead lights and all of the things, I never saw the light of day. It
Yeah.
was
When I
really
worked there, I
hard.
was in the same
Yeah.
situation.
Do you
Yep.
remember how I would
Yep.
like complain to you? Like, I feel like I'm living in a fucking black hole
Yeah,
because it
it's
was
it does
tough.
something to you. And
It
I always
does.
say like I could live anywhere. I lived in some real shitty apartments
Hmm.
growing up and as an adult,
Yeah.
and I could live anywhere,
Yeah.
but I can't live without light.
No, I couldn't either.
Ugh, I
And
could
and
never
I
go back to
hated it.
that.
No, in the winter, I truly never saw the light of day. It would be
Yeah.
dark by the time I never saw the sun.
Yeah,
It was
it's
terrible.
wild.
I don't
It's
miss that at
wild.
all.
So Joseph needs a screwdriver, and I feel seen because he doesn't know the pronunciation, and he's like "Geekin go cha cha," like just gibberish out of his mouth, almost like Klingon language. And Savia's like, "Do you mean Shrukananga?" And he's like, "Well, like it is Amy trying to say any word in any other language."
It was pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
I really
Mm-hmm.
love these two.
I love them too. I
I
love
really
her. I
do.
love
Me
him.
too.
So
What do you
she
think is all
says,
right?
"Oh, I'm sorry. We'll talk after I
No,
get through.
I
We'll
know. I'm
we'll
just getting
say our
excited.
predictions." Okay.
I'm just getting excited.
She says he needs to learn German like ASAP because I am not moving here. Are we seeing
Can't
a
blame
common
you.
thread here? All these
Mm.
women are like, we're not living here. And she says, I have a great life in Germany, not giving it up. Not.
Yeah.
So
I'm
they,
really proud of her for that, by the way.
me too. She is really standing her ground.
Yeah.
Not like Amy Archer, who would
Yeah.
just
Amy
give
would
up
be
her
living in
entire
that
life
basement.
and live in the basement.
Even though she just said I could never live without light, she would.
I would do it to save a troubled person. Yes,
100% I
100%.
know this.
So they arrive at DeMarcus's, and the bed Svea has ordered now. There's two things that made me uncomfortable in this scene. One was how she's talking about being German and how awesome Germans' work ethic is and how things run on time. I was like, let's not go there. Second thing, how they set up this beautiful bed in this prison cell, basically, in the murder basement. You know what it is? It's like the room where they found John Bonet.
Yes. Oh my God, it's John Bonet's room.
It's like a John Bonet room.
It truly is like a concrete prison, truly.
Yes.
It is just like a prison. He went from one prison to another.
I feel like Joseph is okay with it.
You mean Hottie McCrimes?
I'm not. I'm not okay with it.
No, I'm not okay. I'm not okay with it either.
Mm-mm.
And DeMarcus, shame on you, sir. Where is Grandma? And why isn't she calling DeMarcus and being like, yo, DeMarcus, give Hottie McCrimes some sunlight. He can sleep on the couch.
You know what I'm hoping? I'm hoping he's just staying in the John Bonet murder room while Svea is in town. Because maybe DeMarcus is like, I don't want you banging on my couch. And I get that.
I mean, yes.
So maybe that's the situation. And then once Svea goes back to town, Hottie McCrimes can sleep on the couch.
How do we find out? We should keep watching.
Listen, it is the stance of Little Miss Recap that we do not interview cast members. We are never, ever doing that or interacting with the cast. So I don't care. I don't know how. I'm not finding out.
I do care.
It's not happening.
I guess this is the wrong podcast for me.
Yeah, it is. No, I have no interest in reaching out to these people.
Okay, hold up. What if Cody Brown wanted to be interviewed by you? You would say no?
I would throw out the whole podcast and interview him.
I know you would.
I would throw out all my morals and dignity and my stance. I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
I would interview Cody Brown, and it would start like this. Who do you think you are? How dare you? Who do you think you are? Okay. So, all right, I'll make an exception for any of the Browns. That's it. I don't want anybody else. Nothing.
Not even Sidian?
Well, Sidian is a former cast member. That's different. If they're former cast members, fine. Give us a little insight into how shit's going on. But
all right, so when the season is over, I can reach out to DeMarcus?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Don't invite him on for an interview. I don't want it.
Right, I'm putting it on my
calendar. Want the interview.
Email DeMarcus.
Okay. So he's like telling the camera how much he loves her, how much, he's grateful for her. They
As
go
was
out to
she.
lunch. He wants 10 kids and wants to put a baby in her now.
10. Her
I'm like,
oh my
dude,
god, dude, calm down.
I know there's like an aggressive
Mhm.
need to procreate. I don't know what's happening.
They agree
Okay.
on 3.
All right. So
Does that ever make you laugh when people are like, "How many kids do we wanna have?" Does anyone even, like, really stick to that number?
oh,
Because
that's a
as a
good
kid,
question.
I always said that I wanted, like, lots of children, and then I had 2, and I was like, this is good.
Yeah,
Can
I
we
don't
stop
know.
now?"
I don't know, guys. Come at us if you
Yeah,
like planned the amount of children you had, because we all
right.
know
I really
fertility
wanna
is a
know.
very tricky thing. You,
Yes.
you can make all the plans you want. Half the time
Right,
they don't work.
right.
Yeah, it's
But
interesting.
that's my yeah, I'm really interested to hear from people that have actually made that plan and stuck it out, like,
The
made it
whole
happen.
idea that people can be intentional with their fertility
I
is
know.
mind-boggling to me because I don't understand it.
I get it. Yeah.
So Joseph tells the camera, "My plan." They're talking at lunch and they're
Mhm.
having water, and she's like, "You have to move. I have a good life." Da da da. He says, "My plan is to enjoy the rest of my life with the woman I love on the other side of the world, but I need a job, and I could never expect this woman to leave everything she built for me. I'm a 30-year-old man getting out of prison with nothing."
Mm. He's had lots of therapy, I feel like.
He's
Do you
very
think he's
insightful. I
yeah.
think he's very insightful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do
Mhm.
too. So I'm wondering, do you think he had in-prison therapy? Or do you
Maybe. I
think
mean,
he's
some people
just
are just that way, you
I know that,
know?
but I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
Maybe he read some self-help books in prison
True.
if he didn't get therapy.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
really am rooting for him, though.
Me
God, I
too.
want
Me
him to
too.
do well.
He tells her he's going to work extremely hard every single day when she's gone. And Svea says, "Now this is interesting. And this is how you know she really loves him because
Mhm.
she said, just having you out is a big relief that you can live the life you deserve." So,
Mm.
like, there's not this control thing. There's not this, like, the rhetoric that we usually see in these situations, which is like, you better behave, you better blah, 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 you better. Like, she is honestly like, you deserve to be free.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like, I'm happy for you.
So let's talk
It's
about that.
selfless. It's
Yeah, it is
selfless.
selfless, but
Hmm.
I want to talk about this for a minute.
Okay.
What do you like if you were Svea?
Hmm.
Would you feel comfortable, like, having your partner on the other side of the world, like, free for the first time and think he's not gonna cheat on you? Or am I just a jealous psychopath?
Um,
I'm just a
I,
jealous guy.
I think there's a few things. I think we have seen before on certain shows where people just bury their head. Like, hey, whatever happens until I get
Yeah.
back over there happens. I don't know though. I feel like she really trusts him.
I know, I think she does too. That's why I'm asking, because I guess I just trust no one.
I trust everyone.
I know I don't know how. I don't trust
I shouldn't
anybody.
say that. I don't trust corporations or adults, but I
Mhm,
trust,
mhm.
because the Gen
Children?
Xers did not trust adults.
No,
And
we couldn't.
I feel like adults is like just the way I look at business people.
Business people. Oh
I
my
don't trust
lord.
grown-ups.
Grown-ups are scary.
I sleep in a drawer.
Oh
Um,
dear lord.
so I don't know, dude. I can't answer this. I
I
mean,
know.
would I be okay with it? No. Like I would miss him, especially him. I would be like,
No.
I'm coming back there. But I also wouldn't want to sleep in a John Bonet murder room. So
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I
No.
don't know.
Weird.
So he says, "Oh, so today she's leaving and she wants to stuff him in her suitcase." And he's like, "See, we should have been doing the yoga. I could have gotten that
The
suitcase."
yoga. That was
And
cute.
he's like, "You're going to be my motivation. I'm going to call you all the time." She says, "I have to leave. I have responsibilities." He's like, "Aren't I a responsibility?" Like joking. And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yes, of course you are." Da da da. He admits that she's more accustomed to life in the free world. He's not. Then he says, and this is interesting, her intentions are not to harm me. She wishes me no ill will, but she will not put her livelihood in jeopardy. So it makes sense that she has to head home.
Wow.
I'm
Good for
like,
her.
dude.
I know. I love
He
these
says,
two.
when I stepped out of the prison and saw her run towards me, I knew this is who I was going to spend the rest of my life with. I mean,
I know.
please work. Please.
Please.
You're like literally the only reason I'm watching this show at this point.
Same.
Please.
Me too. I love them. Although that's not true. There's somebody else that I'm really interested in.
Is it Olivia and KJ? Because that's where we're going.
No, it's Gabriella and Joel.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
I really like her, I think. But we'll
I
get
kind
there.
of like her too. Okay.
Okay.
So Olivia was scrolling on social media and she came across the pen pal. Okay. Who is running the paid search marketing for this pen pal site for these prisoners? Because,
Truly. Because
you know,
if you own a small business, you need this person running your site.
I'm going to give Mary Payne from Pink Shade a shout out here because she always says, and she's right, she's like, I literally am talking into the Google machine constantly about prisoners, and I never get an ad for this prison pen pal site.
No.
How are these people just stumbling upon it?
I know. How about
They're
I didn't even know
for it.
I didn't even know it was a thing. Like
I
that's
know.
what a dork I am.
I know.
Now
So
I've got all the goods.
her boyfriend
I've got a
Kevin,
couple pen pals that we have to talk about.
her boyfriend Kevin, who they call KJ, is serving 8 years for home invasion.
Oh, home invasion scares me.
That's terrifying. Those poor people that he invaded.
I know.
So he's due to be released in a year and a half. He says he doesn't regret it because he needed to reinvent himself and he would not have met Olivia if he did not get in the pickle that he was in. KJ calls during their interview and he's saying to her, like, you're going to have bruises from bite marks and handprints and rah, rah, rah. Like, I'm going to eat you up. And I'm like, girl,
I'm scared for her.
And let me just say this. Have I been in situations where that has happened in a sexual way?
Yes.
Sure. But it wasn't a prisoner who did a home invasion saying it to me because that would be I feel like that would just land differently.
Yeah.
That would land differently. Okay.
True.
So they're only talking for 2 weeks when he proposed. And she says when she saw him, it was love at first sight. And his crimes don't define him. Those are decisions he made long before her. That's not a healthy way to look at this.
No, it's not. No,
it's
sorry,
just not
Olivia.
like.
But Amy, I have a feeling that Miss Olivia needs she needs a Janet in her life because they were emailing for 2 weeks.
I know.
When he proposed to her and she said yes.
I know.
So like
a Janet, guys, is my therapist.
Right.
So she says they have this amazing communication. Of course, he's in jail. He has nothing else to do. Her friends are like, I don't think this is a good idea. And then she says, I'm done with fucking England. I want to go to the US where they take dance more seriously. Do we?
I mean, I definitely think we do, for sure.
But more than England?
Yeah, I mean, you can
England
become a
like
dancer.
A Footloose situation over there? Nobody's allowed to dance?
But no. I didn't take it like that. But I mean, I just think opportunities here are different. And don't forget, I have dancers and like professional dancers in my family.
I'm not saying we don't take it seriously here, but doesn't England?
But I just think in like a sheer volume perspective, like she could, you could dance on cruise ships or, Broadway or, do you know what I mean?
Always
Like
thought
there's
working on a cruise ship would be the best job in the world in your early 20s.
I have a cousin that did it for like a long, long time, and she traveled the world. She's an excellent dancer. But
Anyway, to get her visa, they need to get married, but she can't get his birth certificate. Now, I have a couple questions about this birth certificate thing.
Okay.
He was adopted, so she doesn't know who has it. His best friend Tyreek is going to help her. She says the family doesn't like her, so they're not cooperating. Now, there's a situation where he has adopted parents and birth parents. She's like, we can't get a copy of the birth certificate because we don't know who's on it. And I feel like that's not true because it may be true that they don't know who's on it, but you can still get a copy of your birth certificate.
I believe you can. Yeah.
There's a lot of people who may not know who their parents are.
So when Patrick and I were getting married, he didn't have his birth certificate. Shocker. I mean, my husband's a fucking disaster when it comes to anything of order. And of course, he was born in Steubenville, Ohio. So we had to contact like a whole thing, but like it was not a big deal. Although I don't recall if we had to put in.
You probably did not have to put in his parents' names. you probably to give his name, maybe his social security number.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I
I
mean?
don't
Stuff like
remember,
that.
but
I don't think you have to put parents' names in.
I mean, what if you truly don't know?
What if you don't know?
You
Exactly.
just not exist and you can't get a job or do anything? Like, I don't know. I think they don't know what they're doing. They need my help.
I find it all sus. Is that a
Mm-hmm.
technical
Yeah.
term?
Mm-hmm.
Sus.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what the kids say. So she's in Grand Rapids, Michigan now, and
Mm.
she's gonna see KJ. And she's also calling Tyreek to help her connect with the parents. She calls him, they agree to meet at 10 a.m. Another thing is this guy is in the system.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of helps you because it
Yeah.
verifies your existence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I could be completely ignorant and wrong. And it's hard to Google something like this because how do you Google, how do you get a copy of your birth certificate in Michigan if you don't know who your parents are?
Right. But I also think the fact that she's not American is probably
Right.
what's tripping
Yeah.
her up a little bit here. Like,
Yep.
if I had to go to England and figure out how to help somebody get their birth certificate, I might not know
Right. And
exactly how to do that.
they're not married. So she has no
Right. She's
legal
no right.
standing.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So KJ says he's been trying to get his adopted parents to give him the birth certificate, but they're blowing him off. And he
Mm.
says Olivia even offered to pay for it.
Yeah,
These
what is
sound
it,
like
like
some
50
crappy
bucks?
parents. No, but I oh, see, I took it a different way. I thought he meant like she was willing to pay them for it. Like that's how much she wants it.
Oh.
Mm, I
Oh.
don't know.
Yeah, I guess
These
you're probably
parents.
right, and I don't make any sense because
No, I
that's
don't know. You
surprising.
could be right.
No.
Maybe it costs a fee to get it and she
Yeah, it does.
is
Because
willing
I
to
like
do
like I
that.
said, when we had to get his, we had to
That
pay.
that actually makes way more sense than my theory that they're like
Yeah.
holding it for ransom. Okay. So she goes to visit him and Olivia says KJ is livid about the birth certificate.
Mhm.
She probably came out of there with all sorts of bruises and bite marks. Now she goes to the meeting spot. Tariq doesn't show up.
I
And
know,
she
he
tells the
totally stands her up.
producers, KJ's mom hates me. She just hates me. And I've tried to meet her and she won't meet me and blah blah blah.
Or what does
That's
she
it.
say? She hates me.
She
I've
hates
tried to
me.
meet her and she won't meet me. They won't
Mm-mm.
talk to me.
Mm-mm.
I need that birth certificate so we can get married.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll
Mm-hmm.
stop.
I like how you did that.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it does not compare to your Emily from Bremley Theater, but you know.
I mean, nothing does.
Mhm. So now we're on Jessica and Craig.
Craig, like she calls him, it drives
Craig.
me crazy.
Craig,
Craig.
Craig, Craig. Okay. So Jessica and Micah, remember, is Craig's little sister.
Yes. And
Okay.
Micah is Heiny Pants.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm calling her from now on, Heiny Pants. I texted you the picture. Did you look?
Oh, I see it. Oh, yeah. Oh,
See?
those
Dude,
cheeks are out. Yep. Yep.
they
Yep.
really are. I mean, I'm
Yep.
not judging. They're cute cheeks. Like, I wish
Yeah.
mine looked like that, but
My cheeks are out in a different way. They're
well,
spilling over the
same.
top. Mhm.
Well, yeah.
So they're heading to the party store to get some decorations for Craig's birthday. Again, the trope
Mm,
of them going to like this boutique balloon store when we all know
yeah,
they would just go to Party City or Walmart.
I
Come on.
know. I know. Weird.
But he's coming home. It's his birthday party. Micah's kind of like, he's not really a birthday guy,
Yeah.
which I don't understand that. My birthday is a
Oh,
cause for national celebration in
well,
my
mine
world.
is too, but I have a feeling, I mean, I don't think these kids, I don't think when they were kids, they had like the
No,
greatest
he
upbringing. I
says
feel
that.
bad for them.
It sounds like a situation where the sister needed him.
Mm-hmm.
He protected her.
Mm-hmm.
And when he left, she was an
Yeah. I
open
mean,
wound. Yeah.
I
Or
have
open
very
target.
similar relationships with my older sisters,
Yep.
especially my oldest sister,
Yep.
So I totally understand this and I feel bad for her.
I
I mean,
feel
she was a
so bad for
child.
she's heartbroken. This
I
is
know.
this is the wound, right?
Yeah.
Like this is the initial wound for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Craig says he's made a ton of dumb decisions and he's grateful to have Jessica here to support him.
Mm-hmm.
Micah then says she has this memory that Craig was only ever allowed to come over to watch a movie and he would play with her hair. And one night he did that and she fell asleep. And when she woke up, he was gone. And she's still, I just want to hug this girl.
I
Like,
know.
Jessica, please hug this girl.
I know. She was 9. She was
She was
9.
9.
And then like she goes on to say, am I cutting you off?
No, go ahead.
How she thinks that he feels like she abandoned him, and I'm like, sweetheart, you were 9 years old.
I know.
Please
I know.
stop saying that. Please
I
don't put
know.
that on yourself. You are a baby.
And then she had a kid at 15.
15 and then
Yeah,
another
so
one. Yeah.
it's really sad because if we don't know the situation with the parents,
Mm-hmm.
but if she had a bad relationship with her father, Craig could have helped her overcome that, being
I
the big
know.
brother, but
Yeah.
he's let her down too.
Mm-hmm.
She's the poor thing.
Yeah.
I just wrote she's full of trauma. I feel so bad for her.
Me too.
And I also wrote sounds like they had a lot of trauma in their childhood and she really needed Craig to help her get through it.
Her trauma is really spilling out of her pants.
Oh. So Craig says he was everything to his baby sister and he left her alone for 10 years. Jessica now says, back home, I have healthcare, good employment, family support. So if he fucks up, I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica gets some taco balloons, which is interesting.
I mean, I like tacos.
Me too. I'll
taco.
eat a taco balloon.
I mean, probably too if I was
Little Miss
hungry
Recap does not advise eating balloons.
Do not eat helium balloons. Or any balloon.
She's ready for him to come home. They do some helium sucking. Ha ha ha.
Have you ever done that?
Of course.
I haven't.
What?
I'm scared of it. I always was afraid that I would like pass out and die.
You never
my
did a
heart would stop.
helium thing.
No. I know.
What are you?
I am a dork.
A Mennonite?
I knew nothing about prison or sucking helium before this show.
Okay.
You guys, I'm really growing up on this podcast.
You are.
I'm growing up right before your ears.
Dude, sucking in helium is like a rite of passage.
I know. It scares me. You know, I'm scared of like drugs and scary things.
That's
like
not a drug.
But people, don't you remember that girl from Intervention that was huffing the computer cleaner?
Well, that's different. She's huffing the chemical that makes it an aerosol.
I'm walking on sunshine. Yes. I mean,
I can remember when I was a teenager, my boyfriend used to huff all the time. It was real bad.
Oh my God.
I don't know how he didn't die. Yeah.
I've never done it. I'm scared. I was always afraid that if I did it, my heart was going to stop and like my brain would explode or something.
I never huffed. That's different.
Yeah, I don't even know what the difference is. How is it different?
Because
you're still inhaling something.
They're inhaling the chemical that makes it an aerosol. Let me look it up.
Oh God. Here we go. We're looking it up again. We're always looking something up.
What is huffing?
Oh my God.
Inhalers. Okay, inhale vapor or aerosol propellant gases using plastic bags held over the mouth. So he would use a paper bag. It's bad. They're toxic chemicals. And it's really, 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 really bad for you guys. Now let's see. Can helium be dangerous?
It has to be.
It can be. Breathing in pure helium deprives the body of oxygen as if you were holding your breath. But dude, we're talking a tiny little bit.
Right, but it only takes a tiny little bit to like throw a clot to your brain.
Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. Go out and inhale the helium and make fun of your voices.
Little Miss Recap does not condone huffing any substance or chemical. No, I am not okay with this.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm scared. Don't do it, you guys.
Another thing we're fighting about.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So now she says, this is what you were talking about. Micah says she hopes Craig doesn't think she abandoned him because she didn't take his calls when she was like 9 or 10 because it was too hard and she was crying too much. Girl.
I was like so upset when I watched that. So upset.
Now she wonders if it's okay to let him around her kids.
I know. Yeah, I mean, that's a valid concern.
And you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm not a psychiatrist or a therapist. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Micah's probably a really good mother.
I think she is too.
Yeah. I just get that vibe and yes.
Yeah, what not to do.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So Jessica says there are unhealed wounds on both sides here.
Yeah.
Then they go to the jail. Oh my God. Jessica's like, look. Oh, no, that's not them. They're just taking out the garbage.
Taking out the trash.
Oh, no, that is them. Because again, in this country, you come out of jail with a garbage
trash
bag and
bag.
like $50. So,
Although he
Craig,
has $35,000.
he does because he was in work
Yeah.
release. Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig says he is 1,000% certain about Jessica and he's not coming back. And he makes a really good point here. He says, all of my criminal acts revolved around stealing things because I was trying to survive. But he says, I don't have the drive to do that anymore because I have a good job, I have a savings account, I have a vehicle, I have a house, and I have a partner. And I'm like, you know
Yeah,
what?
that kind of I mean, I could
Yeah.
see how somebody that comes from maybe not much or not like how you could fall into that when you don't know any other way.
Yes.
Right?
Now, I will say we know some information on him. I'm not going to repeat it here. If you want to go out and do the Googles, go ahead because I'm not talking about it here. Hey everyone, stay tuned. Little Miss Recap will be right back after these words. All right, so let's go to Gabrielle and Jamal. We have our first wrongful conviction.
Well, what she thinks.
That's what they think.
That's what they think. What do you think? I fucking love her.
I don't want to.
And I
don't
love her
want to
sister.
I don't want to weigh in on him yet because we don't know enough. But two things. Number one, a lot of people who are guilty say they're wrongfully convicted. And number two, a lot of people are wrongfully convicted.
Yes.
Especially if you're young and black and in a poor community.
Yeah.
So I'm withholding judgment to see what's true. I will say on social media, they are really sticking to this narrative.
Wow.
They are really into it.
Okay. Where are you seeing this stuff on social? Maybe
Instagram.
See, I don't like to be spoiled, so I purposely don't follow any of the things.
Yeah. Well, if they do it right, the cast shouldn't be spoiling anything.
Well, I know, but
they're not doing it right.
People spoil it.
So Gabriella also just stumbled upon this website for pen pals. Oh my God. She said she didn't want to get involved, but you know how persuasive that damn pen pal site is. Like it just, haunts you.
It sucks you right in.
She's dating Jamal. He's 28. He's from Detroit. He is serving 22 to 40 years for second degree murder.
From when he was like 15, though.
His earliest release date is 2038. Yikes. She tells us he's never been in love and he fell in love with her. And then we see him calling her. She's off to the side and he's like doing this real smooth talking that would totally reel me in. Yeah, he's like, there's a flower that grows in the dark and good things can come from the bad. And I'm like, I would totally fall for this shit.
Yeah,
I would be like,
he's a poet.
Yep. She starts to cry. She says he has proposed 13 times and she finally said yes. Now Gabriella sits down with her sister and the sister's like, I love this is sister. Murder. Yeah.
I really like these two.
I like them too. I really like Gabriella because she says later, look, I don't think people need to understand what I'm doing. I just want them to be respectful.
Respectful, yep.
I'm like, that's a good outlook.
Yeah, it is.
So, the sister's like, dude, I don't like this. And Gabrielle's like, go ahead.
What is the sister's name? It's like Gintara or
I don't
something?
have it because I'm an idiot. I'm a terrible note taker.
No, it wasn't a name that like I recognized.
Was it guitar? Are you trying to say guitar?
It was a Gintara? No. No, it wasn't a guitar. It's like Gintara or Gin something.
Okay. I don't know.
I liked it. I can't remember what
Gabriella
it was.
I didn't say this. She's Lithuanian and she's from Germany. Gabrielle tells the camera, Jamal is wrongfully convicted of murdering his best friend. So now we see her.
God, this is nuts, though.
We see her trying to find a lawyer, an appeals lawyer. Now, these two crazy cats did something smart. They waited until this episode aired, and now they have the GoFundMe for $30,000.
Oh, is that what they did?
That's what they're doing. So Jamal tells us Gabrielle tells us the story of Jamal. So apparently his best friend across the street was murdered when Jamal was 15. DNA was taken. He was not a match. Jamal tells us they went through the house. They took fingerprints. They had no physical evidence tying him to this. And he says, Gabrielle says he also had a full alibi, but his mother told the police he confessed.
What? We need to break this down. I need more information immediately.
I'm
What?
my gob is smacked. I don't even know.
I know.
First of
I
all,
know.
I was trying to think of this. If my kid killed somebody, would I not turn them in?
I don't. I
I
have like
don't know.
I don't know either. I
I
truly
don't
don't. I
know.
hope I never know. Let me
Here's the
just put
thing.
that out there.
Here's the thing. I would have to literally see my kid in the act of it. Like I would have to know under no circumstances or no uncertain terms that they did it. Okay. Number two, it would have to be pretty like malicious.
Yeah.
Because then I would be like, okay, this kid needs help. Like this kid
Yeah.
needs to go into the justice system and hopefully, whatever. I don't know, dude. I
I
don't
don't
know. But
know.
if
I don't
like
know.
I didn't know, I don't know. There's a lot of things I wouldn't turn my kids in for. I'm just gonna say.
I mean, you're human and a mother. I mean, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the rule, not the exception. You know what I mean?
Like I don't know. I this is just icky.
It is
Icky,
icky.
icky, icky.
I really want to know
Again,
more, though.
I can't really make a judgment here because I don't know enough information. As we
I
come to
know.
learn more, hopefully, I
I
can
hope we do
learn more.
because
Yeah.
I'm invested in this.
I need to know. I
I
need
know,
to
me
know if
too.
this is true. Did they do DNA? Did they do like
Yeah,
I need to know more about this case.
I know. Maybe I should
We
look it
need to
up.
put the backdoor friends on it. Guys, can you salute the round? See if you can find this. It was Detroit.
Let's see.
You
Yeah,
have
I'm gonna
his
do too.
name. Let's see if we can figure it out.
Okay, we're on it.
So he's saying, this was my best friend since childhood, and I would have to be some kind of monster to kill my best friend.
Yeah.
He says he's lost everything. And Gabriella says, I'm going to try to raise the money. And, you can get a defense attorney,
Mm.
but it's going to be like $30,000.
Can
And
you imagine? What
this
would
is
you
the
do?
problem. This is the problem.
Right. But here, so truly, what the fuck do you do when you don't have $30,000 to hire a lawyer? Like, I
Well,
would I wouldn't be able to do that either. Like, what do
I
you
mean, I
do?
think this is why groups like the Innocence Project are so important.
Yeah.
Because,
Yes.
but they can only do so much.
I
You know what
know.
I mean? I know there's a lot of lawyers that do pro bono work in situations like this.
I don't know.
I mean,
I can't
it's
imagine they're easy to find. I
no,
can't.
it's just a really sad
It is.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we don't know the story. We don't know. Again, I'll say it. There's plenty of guilty people in prison saying they're wrongfully convicted, and vice
Yeah.
versa. There are
Right.
wrongfully imprisoned people in prison. So, all right, next time on, you ready?
Yep.
Svea tells us Hattie McCrimes has a lot of things to do. I don't date guys that don't have their shit together, period. Good for you, girl.
Yes, good for you, but yeah, you do. You do. You
Well,
dated
and
a
good
guy
for
in
you,
prison.
but yeah, but what I think she's doing is she's holding him to this standard.
Okay,
Like
yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
she's
You're right.
walking a fine line of understanding he's coming out of jail and has to,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, no,
maybe
I get
that's
it.
why she's going back to Germany, because maybe she's like, you get all your shit straightened out in the next 6 months and then we'll reconvene.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's tough. How long is he on parole? Do we know?
No, we don't know.
I forget.
Mm-mm. What was his crime again? Hattie McCrimes.
Didn't he?
Assault, armed robbery. Didn't he rob somebody for a gun?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. KJ's mom agrees to meet with Olivia with the birth certificate. So is that going to happen? We don't know.
We don't know.
Craig is opening gifts when Jessica asks him to pop his trash in the rubbish bin. And he's like, oh, here we go with the fucking demands. Nag. I'm like, whoa.
I'm scared. I have a real bad, like, he gives me bad vibes. I almost said bad vibes.
So. Red flag. Then his bro shows up and they're like hugging in the street.
Yeah, I know.
Andrea, the Kim Kardashian lookalike, and Cage are cleared to get married.
Yeah.
And she fights with her family and somebody is sobbing. I can't see if it's her father or her brother. Somebody sobbing. I don't know if she even has a brother, but it's a guy that looks like it could be her father, but I don't know.
It probably is.
I'm not really sure. So that's it. That's that. If that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Okay. Right now, I'm only pulling for Svea and Hottie McCrimes. I shouldn't say
Right.
only. I hope all these guys
Ah,
come out and reform and be good
and be good
citizens.
humans.
Yes, I
Yeah,
would
me
love to
too.
see that.
Me too.
But,
I'm
we don't know.
super invested now, though, and now I want to know everything about all of them.
Yeah.
We
We
didn't
need,
see, what is it? Is it Michael
Michael
and
and Aaron.
Aaron? That's her
Yes,
name.
we didn't see that.
Yeah, we didn't
But
see her.
we need to know if this dude is really wrongfully convicted.
I know. I mean, how will you know? Do you ever know?
Well, I think
There's no way to know.
if we can find out what evidence there was against him at trial. That's what I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a circumstantial case based only on hearsay from his mother? I
That's
doubt it.
crazy,
But
right?
stranger fucking things have happened.
I know. It is wild to think, though.
All right, so that's it. What do we have coming up? We have, I hope you guys enjoyed MAFS. That aired. Oh, I have an announcement.
Ooh.
Monday, today's Friday.
Oh.
Monday, Amanda and I are talking with the Sister Wives professor, Adam.
Oh.
So that will be out next week. Very
That's
excited about that.
exciting.
Yes. So he is a podcast called The Sister Wives Professor, and he is an academic who studies body language and
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
And
Okay.
he analyzes all the Sister Wives episodes through that lens. So we're meeting
Ooh.
with him Monday, and we're going to chat with him about
That's kind of cool.
pivotal moments in season 18, including the fight. So I'm very excited for that.
Off.
Very excited for that. Also wanted to remind everybody, merch store is open. A lot of you have purchased stuff. Thank you so much. Again, it's just there for fun. Don't feel like you have to get anything.
I mean, you should, though. You
Yeah,
should get something.
I mean, it
for
helps
sure.
promote the show. Definitely. And you and I will be back next week with MAFS and this.
Yay.
And that's it. All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Jump in our Facebook group, Backdoor Friends. Link is in the show notes. We'll see you next time. For Hottie McCrimes, see you next time.
Love your phones.